Once upon a time in a bustling town, there lived a merchant who earned his living by selling salt. He had a wife and 2 sons. His elder son was painfully shy, hesitant to speak, and often misunderstood, while his younger son was bold and outspoken. People mocked the elder son, calling him foolish, and many took advantage of his innocence. Yet he never uttered a complaint. The merchant grew increasingly frustrated with his elder son's timid nature, scolding him harshly. Each insult only crushed the boy's self-esteem further. Fear haunted him in school during exams. His mind would freeze, and he failed to perform well. As he grew older, his father asked him to help in the family business. Terrified of disappointing him, he agreed, but his nervous mistakes only deepened his father's anger. One day, while the merchant was away, some cunning men tricked the young man by claiming his father had sent them for the salt sacks. Too afraid to question, he helplessly watched them take everything. When his father returned and saw the empty shop, he raged, "You fool! You've ruined me. Leave and never return." Devastated, ridiculed by townsfolk, and drowning in shame, the young man wandered to the riverbank, ready to end his life. "I am useless," he thought. "I will never be anything but a failure." Just as he prepared to leap, a young disciple appeared and pulled him back. The man cried, "Why save me? My life is worthless." The disciple gently said, "Life is given only once. As long as you breathe, you can turn failure into success. But if you give up now, you'll never know your true strength." The young man confessed his sorrows, his shyness, lack of education, and his father's hatred. "Do I even deserve to live?" he asked bitterly. Smiling, the disciple replied, "My master can answer your question. Come with me." At first, the man resisted, but eventually followed him to a serene ashram, where a great saint sat beneath a vast tree in deep meditation. Overcome with emotion, the young man wept and poured out his life story. The saint listened patiently, then said, "I can show you the path, but only if you follow my instructions for 3 days. If you succeed, your life will never be the same." Desperate for hope, the young man agreed. On the first day, the saint commanded, "Speak to 10 strangers, ask about their lives, and write down their stories." Trembling, he tried. Some ignored him, others mocked him, yet he persisted. By evening, he had spoken to 10 people and even made a few friends. For the first time, he felt a spark of pride. The next day, the saint said, "Teach 10 young students about the value of water." Horrified, he protested, "But I am uneducated." The saint reassured him, "Those children don't know your fears. Just share what you already understand." Nervous but determined, he spoke about the importance of water. His hands shook, his voice cracked, but he finished. The second time, he spoke with more confidence. By the end of the lesson, his fear had faded. The saint praised him. "You are braver than you believe." On the third day, the saint gave the hardest task. "Return to your father. Ask for his forgiveness." Terrified, he pleaded, "No. He will never forgive me." But the saint said firmly, "Without this, I cannot help you." Summoning all his courage, the young man returned home, bowed before his father, and said, "Forgive me. I will prove my worth." Seeing his son's humility and change, the merchant embraced him and gave him another chance. When the young man returned, he asked eagerly, "Master, what is the secret of success?" The saint smiled and said, "You have already discovered it. Your enemy was never shyness, was fear. The world sees you as you choose to present yourself. Even if you feel weak, act with courage, and others will believe in you. True strength lies in believing in yourself." Tears of gratitude filled the young man's eyes. "I understand now," he whispered. "Fear will not rule my life again." Years later, that same young man became a respected businessman, admired for his wisdom and confidence. His story proved a timeless truth. Confidence is not born, it is built. Even the shyest soul can rise above fear and transform into someone strong. Our greatest limits exist only in our minds. Fear and self-doubt chain us, but courage and persistence break every barrier. The young man once thought failure was his destiny. But by stepping beyond his comfort zone, he discovered strength he never knew existed. Remember, the world sees you as you decide to show yourself. Believe in your worth, take small steps forward, and you will find within you a power far greater than fear.